He worked 16-hour shifts, skipped meals, and poured every ounce of love into his family. But while he fought exhaustion to give them a better life, his wife was laughing in another man's car. And when the truth shattered him, he didn't scream, he didn't fight. He just died with the heartbreak she left behind. This is the story of Marcus Hill, and it will stay with you forever. Please support us by subscribe, like, and share for more, with activating the notification bell. Thank you. Marcus Hill was the kind of man people wrote country songs about, the silent, hard-working type who never missed a shift and never said no when someone needed help. At 38, Marcus had worked at the same packaging plant for 16 years. He was known for taking every bit of overtime offered, all to provide a better life for his wife, Janine, and their 10-year-old daughter, Ava. They lived in a small, rented home on the edge of town. It wasn't much, but it was clean, cozy, and full of memories. Janine stayed home, saying she wanted to focus on Ava. Marcus didn't question it. He believed in her. Their relationship had changed, though. In the beginning, she was affectionate, bubbly, and supportive. But in the last year, she had grown distant. Conversations turned into grunts. Smiles became forced. She stopped calling him at work. Marcus blamed himself for being too tired, too busy. He thought maybe a vacation would fix it, if he could just afford one. He took pride in being the provider, even if it meant sacrificing his own health. He skipped meals to save money, wore the same work boots for years, and never once complained. He felt it was his duty as a husband and a father. Still, there were moments, small flickers of doubt. He'd come home to cold dinners and a wife glued to her phone. Ava would be tucked in by the time he walked through the door. The warmth of home felt colder. What he didn't know was that while he was pulling 16-hour shifts, someone else was keeping his wife company. A betrayal was unfolding behind closed doors, and Marcus, ever trusting, had no idea he was walking headfirst into heartbreak. It started on a Tuesday. Marcus picked up an extra double shift because Ava had hinted she wanted a bicycle for her upcoming birthday. It meant another sleepless night and missing dinner again, but he thought about her smile and pushed through. That night, during his 3 a.m. break, Marcus sat in the loading bay, sipping stale coffee and scrolling through photos on his phone. That's when he noticed something strange. He opened a photo of Janine from earlier that week, but the background caught his eye, a black jacket slung on a chair. It wasn't his. He zoomed in. The jacket had a logo. Brian's Auto Detail. Brian was his childhood friend. They hadn't talked in years, but Marcus remembered he owned a detailing shop near their neighborhood. Suddenly uneasy, Marcus checked Janine's social media. Most posts were of Ava or food she made, but then there was a story, still fresh. A short video clip of Janine laughing, sitting in someone's car. Marcus recognized the seat covers. Brian used to brag about them. His chest tightened. He left work early that night, heart pounding. He tried to convince himself it was a coincidence. Maybe Brian had helped her fix the car. Maybe they just ran into each other. But deep down, Marcus knew. He felt the betrayal in his gut, in the way her laughter in that video was different, carefree in a way she hadn't been around him for months. On the drive home, Marcus remembered all the times he'd missed family dinners, school events, holidays, all so he could give them more. And now he was seeing the cracks that had formed in his absence. At 4:15 a.m., Marcus arrived home. The house was dark. Ava was asleep. He moved quietly through the hallway and noticed Janine wasn't in their bed. His stomach dropped. He walked to the front window and peeked outside. A car was parked down the block, a black Dodge Charger. Brian's car. Marcus waited. At 4:47 a.m., Janine stepped out of the car, adjusting her hair. She didn't see Marcus watching from behind the curtain. She slipped inside quietly, tiptoeing, like a teenager breaking curfew. Marcus sat on the couch, staring at the floor. He didn't say a word. When she saw him, she froze. her face drained of color. "You're home early," she said. "I saw the car," he replied. Silence stretched between them. She didn't deny it. She didn't even apologize. Just turned and walked to the bedroom without a word. Marcus didn't sleep. That morning he made Ava breakfast, packed her lunch, and walked her to school like he always did. Then he went straight back to work. That moment, her silence, the lack of remorse, cut deeper than anything. Marcus felt humiliated, but more than that, he felt invisible. How long had this been going on? How many nights had he kissed her goodbye only for her to welcome someone else hours later? He could have shouted. He could have demanded answers. But he didn't. Because if he exploded, he feared Ava would see a version of her father that he never wanted to show. So he swallowed it, buried it, and carried it like a stone in his chest. In the days that followed, Marcus kept working overtime. He said nothing to anyone. He didn't confront Janine again. At dinner, he acted normal for Ava's sake. He even helped her wrap presents for Janine's upcoming birthday. But inside, Marcus was withering. His co-workers noticed the change. He looked paler, thinner, like he hadn't slept in days. He barely spoke. One night, while lifting a heavy box, he stumbled and had to sit down. "You good, Hill?" his supervisor asked. "Yeah, just tired," Marcus whispered. But he wasn't just tired. He was shattered. He began avoiding mirrors. He stopped checking his phone. Every ring made his chest tighten. Every knock at the door made his stomach churn. He feared seeing Brian. He feared more silence from Janine. But most of all, he feared what Ava might one day find out. One night, after another 14-hour shift, Marcus sat in his car outside the house. He stared at the porch light and thought about driving away and never coming back. But he didn't. He went inside. Ava needed him, even if Janine didn't. He started journaling during breaks at work, scribbling thoughts he couldn't say out loud. Pages filled with pain, confusion, and aching love for a daughter he felt he was slowly failing. Those journals were never meant to be found. A week later, Marcus didn't show up for work. Then 2 days passed. On the third day, a neighbor called. The police after Ava said, "Daddy won't wake up." Marcus had died in his sleep. Heart failure, they said. A combination of exhaustion, untreated high blood pressure, and extreme emotional stress. Janine sobbed at the funeral. People whispered about how she hadn't been seen with Marcus much in recent months. Brian didn't show up. What broke everyone's heart the most was what Ava said during the service. "Daddy said he worked hard so I could smile every day. He said love means giving everything even when it hurts." Marcus had left behind a savings account in Ava's name. Every bit of overtime had gone into it. There was also a note he wrote, found in his work locker. "If you're reading this, I guess, I'm gone. I didn't fight back because I didn't want to be the reason Ava lost both her parents. Let her remember love, not war." He took that pain to his grave. But he left behind a legacy of selflessness. Because sometimes the quietest men carry the loudest heartbreak and still choose to protect others until their final breath. A few weeks after the funeral, Ava found one of his journals tucked in a toolbox. The last page read, "Even if my heart breaks, I'll hold the pieces together long enough for her to feel safe. That's what fathers do." Marcus died heartbroken, but he died loving. And that love, it will echo in Ava's life forever.